Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. It's just Hannah here this week, and we have a special guest. We have Biscuit here. She wanted to join us, so here she is. Yeah, so today we are going to be talking. So actually, I felt that in most of our videos, me and Emily talk a lot about vision struggles and a lot about being visually impaired and everything, and that's because it's a common thing that we can relate to, I guess. But actually today we are going to be talking about being hard of hearing and basically just what it's like for me to be hard of hearing. So yeah, let's go. Just to quickly tell you guys what my case of hearing is, and I'm sure you guys already know this, but basically I can hear out of this ear, but I cannot hear out of this ear. And I'll tell you why. Because I was obviously born with golden hair syndrome, and that gave me all of these birth defects. And the reason why I don't have any hearing in my right ear, which might appear to you guys as left ear, I don't know mirror's reflection or anything. But yeah, so I can't hear it out of this ear, and that is because I have a bone, an extra bone, lucky me, going right in front of my eardrum. And it basically means like no hearing sound waves, whatever you want to call them, can get to my eardrum, and basically I don't hear anything out of that ear. Trust me, I've tested it before where I cover my left ear and someone whispers something into my right ear, and I definitely do not hear them. Sometimes someone will whisper something into my right ear and I pick it up from my left ear and they say, "How can you hear that?" And it's just like, it was my left ear, it wasn't my right ear. Sorry, still deaf in my right ear. Just how it works. So yeah, so that's being with like half my face not working with like my vision and my hearing. It's always like sometimes someone will walk up to me on my right side. First of all, I can't see them, and second of all, they will like say something and I won't hear them. I'll maybe pick up like a bit of like sound waves on like my left ear, but again, like I can't comprehend what they're saying, so then I kind of have to like tilt my head, look over at them and say, "Hey, I need you to come onto my left side, thanks. Now I can see you and I can hear you." That would be pretty helpful, would it not? Yeah, because basically, like, if I can't hear it in my right ear, and even if I learned how to, like, sign, and they knew how to sign, I still can't, like, see them on my right side, to, like, see what they're signing. So it's kind of like, come onto my right side, you're practically not there. You're like, I can't see you, I can't hear you, you are not there. So I guess, so I've just got into high school this year, and I feel like, before I was in high school, I was in, obviously, elementary school, and at that point, I guess I really didn't, I don't know, like, I knew that I was hard of hearing. I knew kind of like, yeah, I have like less hearing than everyone else, and sometimes it's like harder for me to hear things. But I guess I don't know, it's kind of always just like I don't hear things as well, and so the teacher like will wear like a little microphone and they're louder. So when I got to high school, I first met with I'm gonna call her the representative of hard of hearing people. So she came and talked to me. Actually, she came and talked to me while I was in elementary school. And we basically just sat down, talked, and I kind of told her what my hearing was like. I think that she already had like a general idea of what my hearing was like. But anyways, we just kind of talked. And yeah, I kind of told her what my hearing is. And she automatically had a suggestion like, "Hey, here, let's use this device when you get to high school." And I was just like, wow, okay. But it was so much more advanced technology than I've been using, because in elementary school I used it was kind of like the teacher would just wear a thing around their neck, like I can't even describe it, it's just a thing, and it basically pick up their voice and it's project it louder and like a big speaker and everything, which compared to what I have now, it's like that's terrible. Like it's not very good technology. But back when I was using it, I'm just like, wow, okay, this is great. But yeah, so she suggested some technology for me to use, and basically what it is the teacher still wears a thing, because that's what we're calling it, around their neck, and it's kind of like a lanyard or whatever you want to call it. And so it's like this little like kind of like square on their chest, and it's a touch screen. At first, like, you could get like a touch screen version, or you could get like a pen shaped version. I liked the touch screen because with the pen I was kind of just like, well, how do you like press all these different settings and change everything? So for me, the touch screen was just simpler. Hi, Biscuit. Okay, lie down. Yeah, so it was just simpler, and so basically the teacher wears that, and like the old ones, it still picked up their voice, but instead of sending their voice in a louder version out of the speaker, their voice was sent to like a little earpiece that I'd wear, and it'd go basically into the earpiece, and it would be louder, and it'd be just in my ear. So only I'm hearing a louder version of what the teacher says, and not everyone in the class. So I definitely like it because it's a bit more subtle. Not that I'm not okay with people knowing that I'm hard of hearing, but it's better technology in multiple ways, because like it's more direct into my ear, like direct speaking. Because like with the speaker, it still sends out it like everywhere and all across the room instead of like just into like one precise location. So it was definitely like sharper and clearer, because I remember some of the sound systems that I had in elementary school would be kind of like, it'd make the teacher's voice sound all like robotic and like artificial and everything. About this new representative that I met when I was transitioning to high school, she was really nice, and I liked that she kind of just worried about my hearing difficulties and not like, you know, all my other difficulties. So that was nice, and it's kind of like she had like a deeper knowledge of like what it's like for being like part deaf and stuff, even though she had her full hearing, because at my school there's just more than just me that's hard of hearing. So I through her I was able to like meet new people, which was really awesome for me, because before that I've never actually met anyone with hearing difficulties like me. So that was like really fun. I met like a lot of great people, and she brought up this great idea of like, okay, why don't I come like every few weeks and we can like hang out and we can do something. I could bring like hot chocolate, like she could bring hot chocolate, and like we can just all like chat and stuff. I'm just like, that'd be great. And I love that, because I feel like it was almost like a bit of like, it was something to look forward to in high school, because I'm in this new environment with a bunch of people that are like all mostly older than me, and like I have no idea what I'm doing. And it's just like, I don't want to join any extracurriculars, because I'm going to walk into like something that I have no clue about. And that was super stressful for me. But like here I could meet with people that were almost exactly like me, like had the same kind of challenges relating to hearing. And like there's like, it's all nice people, it's in a safe community. And we met in an area that I was familiar with. And when I was meeting with her one day, she actually brought up this good point, and she was just like, did you know that people with hearing loss, their brains, they work in the way that their brains are using so much of their energy to actually hear what someone is saying that they don't always have enough brain power left to comprehend what they actually said. And when she said this made so much sense to me, because it was kind of just like, yeah, like sometimes I don't hear someone, but I've also had moments where I'm talking to someone and I'm just like, what? And because like I didn't hear what they said, but then 2 seconds later I'm just like, oh, that's what they said, and then I like reply to like their question or something. So I just want to bring up another thing, that with me being hard of hearing, I obviously go to like annual hearing tests annually, and it's interesting because when you're at a hearing test, you're sitting in this little booth and you have like headphones on, and you have to like, for me it's like I have to like press a button when I hear them say something. But it's very different between doing a hearing test and hearing in the real world, because when you're in a hearing test, it's like, yeah, I want to do the best that I can in this hearing test. So you're listening with like all of your brain power of like what you can hear, where in daily life you're not always focusing on hearing, like you're focusing on seeing everything, and like you're focused on everything around you, that you don't always use enough brain power to like fully operate your ears, I guess. And so it's like on a hearing test, like you might get like, I don't even know the results for a hearing test, but you might get like 80% out of 100% hearing or something. But it's like in real life, like all those numbers just kind of go away, because it's just like you hear what you hear and you don't what you don't. And for some people like me, it's more of a struggle. You have to say, what did you say, many more times than the regular person. So yeah. And just another random thing to say is that when you're approaching a deaf person, just a bit more etiquette, because I always love informing you guys about this, is I think a lot of people talk really loud because they think that a deaf person is always a hard of hearing person. And even if someone is hard of hearing, you shouldn't speak really loud, because they're either going to hear you or they don't. It doesn't always matter if you change like the I don't know, I guess like how loud you speak, because like deaf people, they speak to you in sign, and they have other people like helping them, like, and it can be really offensive when you're speaking really loudly, because we're either going to hear you or we don't. And if we hear you, then it's just offensive knowing like, okay, I'm not that deaf, you don't have to speak that loudly for me. That's just a, what's the word? It's a stereotype of like, you think that when you're approaching a deaf person, you have to speak loudly for them and they'll be able to hear you. If they're completely deaf, they're not going to hear you no matter how loud you're speaking. And if they're hard of hearing, they're either going to hear you or they're not going to hear you. So there's no point in speaking louder, and that's just following stereotypes, and stereotypes are often wrong, and you shouldn't believe them. So I am pretty sure I've told you guys everything I can think to tell you about my journey over the past year of learning more about my hard of hearingness and what my hearing is like, and just everything related to my hearing. So I think that's it for today. And I just want to leave saying that we have a video about where it was just me, and I talked about my prosthetic eye, and that video got over 1,000 views. And I was super, super happy about that. So I just want to say, I hope that happens again. Tell all your friends about this video and every other video and about our page, and just tell everyone, tell your dog, tell your cat, tell your mother, tell your father, tell your aunt, your uncle, your friend, your imaginary friends. I don't care. Just tell everyone. That would make me so happy. And leave a like for this comment or leave a dislike. I don't care. If you get a dislike, it means that you get like a hater, which means that you made it. But it doesn't matter. Anyways, like, dislike, I don't care. Subscribe if you haven't done that already, because that makes me happy. And leave a comment, because I love reading them. It makes me happy. And that's it for today, and I hope you guys loved hearing me ramble on. So, bye!